and the wall itself will cost like $814 million just to make.
Isn't Bernie's plan like $1 trillion?
He's not trying to destroy the economy.
Someone beg to differ, but I think we can all be unified here by helping build the wall.
We're not helping to build anything. We're helping to kick people out of this country. The Mexicans themselves aren't the problem. It's the big corporations that are a problem. Start punishing the corporations. Stop being a racist.
Stop being a racist.
I'm just not understanding how we can't afford a wall, but we can afford all of Bernie's plans, because his are actually more expensive.
His are paid for by the people, not billion-trillion-dollar companies.
I thought they were paid for by millionaires and billionaires.
They're paid by the people. Like me, like my mother. And let me tell you something. None of Trump is American. All of his family, all of his wives, everything of him is immigration. His wife is from the Czech Republic. Is he trying to kick her out?
No, of course not.
His parents aren't American, trying to kick them out.
No, they moved illegally.
His children, they aren't fully American. They plan to kick him out.
Pretty sure that all these people moved here legally, though.
Okay, so you're saying that just because...
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time.
Let me just say this is a Bernie rally. Try going to like the zoo.
Oh, that's a very clever suggestion.
Or the depths of hell itself.
Another one.
But yet you still say we're at a war with Islam?
Are we not at a war?
That is the most ignorant, stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Are we not at a war with radical jihadism?
Okay, but are they not at a war with radical Christianity, okay?
Oh my God.
Where are we at war with radical Christianity?
Really?
No, really, I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
Actually, explain to me.
Just...
Where are we at war with radical Christians?
Yeah, they're trying to target us for no reason.
Where are the radical Christianity war? Where is that happening?
The people in power. The people in power want to make us turn on each other. That's exactly why you're trying to do this.
These are radical Christians?
Get feelings from
I
people.
just want to know about this radical Christian war that's going on. I haven't heard of it.
Ask other countries. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you for making an ass of yourself. Now let's watch your girlfriend do the same.
Assalamu Okay. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, I actually lived in the Middle East for 2 years as a child.
Well, fuck. That's really good. Now, if you could reply with the proper, like, assalamu
You see, I had a... Yeah, no.
Alaikum assalam.
Yeah, not a fan.
Have a good day.
Growing up there as a young girl, I wasn't a big fan of, like, having to cover myself all the time. The actual rape culture that goes on in the Middle East. And, throwing gays off of buildings and such. I wasn't a big fan of that, being an American over there.
Neither am I, but you don't think Donald Trump is after the same policies?
I don't think he wants to throw gays off of buildings, no.
No, but he's openly against them in radical form.
Open against what?
Gay people, Islamic people, black people, Mexican people. He's all about the hate.
What did he do to gay people?
He's openly slandered a bunch of...
what did he say? I don't know. I would like to know about this. I haven't heard this.
You haven't heard anything about...
I haven't heard him say bad things about gays, no.
Okay. Well, look at stuff from the 1990s.
I don't know if you can even really compare saying a few things to really throwing them off of buildings either.
You're right. You're right. Sticks and stones will not break bones, but words do hurt.
The social justice warrior motto.
Yeah, I think I'd rather hear a few nasty words than be thrown off the building.
Me too. And that's where we're all the same on a human level.
Don't think it's quite a valid comparison, is my point.
Okay. Well, that's different. Have a good day.
Another one bites the dust.
He said it.
He said that?
Yeah.
I wasn't listening, what?
Excuse me, was you saying something? You can't tell me nothing.
I don't know what to say to that. I've never heard that. I don't even understand what that means. I'm sorry, I hadn't heard that. I don't know how to disagree to that. Help me out.
I don't know either.
I don't know either. But why do you not like Sanders?
Oh, I'm not a socialist.
Okay, what is socialism to you?
Well, can you define it, actually? Do you know the definition of socialism? I do.
Well, let's hear it.
I want to see if you know it.
Well, it's not communism.
Okay, but actually give me the definition, not what it's
I
not.
don't think I can.
Well, then why do you support Sanders?
Because he is for the actual 99%.
But you can't even define what his beliefs are. You can't define. You don't know the definition of socialism.
The definition of socialism, help me out. Help me out.
It's a very specific definition. It's simple.
How do I want to put this?
It's not. There's no way to put it. There's one definition.
Reducing the class?
That's not a definition of socialism. No, that sounds like communism. Well, so socialism is communism, according to you?
No.
Just use a very communist definition.
Democratic socialism is a very different concept than communism.
Can you actually define democratic socialism for me then?
Oh shit.
Democratic socialism, to me,
No, not to you. Definitions have meanings. They're not personal.
Okay, just help us out. We don't really actually know.
Another one.
I'm actually not surprised at the response because, as you know, in this country, we are built on retaliation. America retaliates against their enemies. America retaliates against people who are terrorists. And when somebody terrorizes America or harms America in any way from other countries, what do? We bomb them. We murder them. And a lot of times, innocent victims get killed in the crossfire. And that's just a part of the job. Now, when you have an issue like this, not that I agree with it, not that I think that Micah Johnson was somebody that should have been doing something like that. It's horrific either way, but maybe because he grew up in a country that was built on this kind of retaliation, he might have felt, I don't know, he might have felt that this was very apropos. The police officers ran through the black community and murdered black people like they were pigs in the streets. They shot people in the back, several individuals over the last week, and he might have felt like, well, in this country, when our enemy harms us, we retaliate.
So
is that
Kevin,
good thinking? Absolutely not.
Kevin, is this
but
justified?
This is what happens when you have
Lisa's making the point that this is somehow justified, Kevin.
Not at all. I'm saying to you that this could be the thinking because in this country,
Lisa,
a lot of times, people retaliate against their enemies, and this man was maybe warped.
Yeah, I heard what you said.
However, it's wrong on all sides. It's wrong for the police to murder and slay black men in the streets, just as it's wrong for Micah Johnson to kill.
Lisa, are you going to let me talk?
Kevin, your turn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, first of all, the idea that Lisa says we're in a country that is harming black people as a black president sits and is a top law enforcement officer in the country is ridiculous. Loretta Lynch, and before her, I can't remember his name, but the point is, black people are in charge of this country. The people in the cities where all these blacks are supposedly being killed are black folks. They're the people that they vote for. They're Democrats. What Lisa's explaining is the absolute nonsense that circulates in the black community, that you can't get ahead in this country and that there's somebody against them. The fact of the matter is, in America, there is nobody targeting black people. I've gone through the statistics. There were 200 to date of the 561 people who've been killed by police. 136 of them are black. So who are the other people, Lisa? So what's happening here, Clayton, is blacks are being taught to be racist. They're being taught to be ignorant of the actual facts of what this country brings.
Black
and what's so sad about it?
Black people cannot be racist because we don't have the power to be racist. Black people did not hang white people. That's the most ignorant statement I've ever heard. Black people did not rape white people in slavery. Black people did not enslave white people. Black officers are not running through white neighborhoods, killing and shooting white people in the back. Black people are not stopping whites from getting housing. Black people are not stopping whites from getting jobs. No, we're not racist. Racism denotes power. We don't have the power to do that. And one black president in 176 years of 43 presidents does not mean we have black control in this country. We have one black president.
Lisa, everything
after
you just said.
176 years. All of a sudden, we're great. Kevin, stop playing those games. You know the situation. Are you crazy?
What about the killings in black communities this morning? What about
I have
the
an answer
killings
for
in
that.
black?
I love that.
Let me ask the question.
Yeah, go right ahead.
You have an answer.
When you have people criticizing the Black Lives Movement, if they really care about the black community, why wouldn't they be addressing the black-on-black crime in cities like Chicago, where there are murders every 2 hours in the city of Chicago?
First of all, murdering in your own community is intraracial. Let's just clear this up. I've said it a million times on Fox before.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Intraracial.
It's okay, right, Lisa?
Most murders in the white community are performed by whites. Most murders in the black community are performed by blacks. So murders usually are interracial. So intraracial. So don't try to say that only black people are killing their own people. White people kill me with that low-brow statement. Stop playing
Lisa,
games.
nothing
the
you
fact
say
is,
makes an
all
ounce of
races
sense.
kill their own race generally. So it's not something that's only
I'd like
specific
to
to black
respond.
communities.
I'm just not going to talk over her.
Let Kevin respond.
I'm not going to talk over her. The fact of the matter is everything that Lisa says is absolute abject nonsense. Everything she has is an excuse for the behaviors that are going on in the black community. What Lisa doesn't want to talk about is the fact that there are people out there targeting police officers. Police officers are they're not homogeneous in color. They're heterogeneous. They're black. They're Hispanic.
True.
They're whites. They're everybody. They're being targeted by people that they're trying to protect. Lisa doesn't want to talk about the number of police officers who go into the black community to actually solve crimes committed by blacks in more ratio per capita than any other racial group. She doesn't want to talk about the people that they have to console after black people. Hey, Lisa, I listened to you talk. Why don't you just settle down for a second?
Guys, we have to
Lisa, why don't you just settle down for a second?
All right, guys, we have to end it there. We got to end it there. We got to remove the coffee from the set this morning.
I think that you have to acknowledge the reality, regardless of which end of the ideological spectrum you're on, that this idea that the relationship between a corporation and a worker is an entirely voluntary one is a figment of our imagination. The reality is that the relationship depends upon the balance of power. Because if you were to really believe that it's totally a voluntary relationship, then you should be arguing for child labor, because that was legal at one time, and that was argued as a beneficial thing for the economy. So we have to understand that it's a balance of power.
We're moving ever so slightly away from whether we need customers with more money to have that that base, but we'll be addressing some of the underage working here shortly. Ben,
yeah, I mean, I'll refrain from talking about child labor, especially given the fact that the rationale for child labor laws is that children are incapable of consent, right? I mean, that's the rationale for child labor laws.
Although your child did appear on television last night.
She did, without her consent, but I will tell you that she immediately joined SAG-AFTRA.
The rationale for child labor to be legal was that children are exploitable, more exploitable. That's why businesses wanted it, and people had to fight against it.
Businesses may want it, but the fact is that the children are not capable of consent, which is why the legislation was appropriate from all ideological points of view. In terms of whether basically this trickle-up economics, this idea that if you pay people $15 an hour, it will help the general economy, it's evidencing a differential point of view with regard to how money is invested and what makes your life as a consumer better. The truth is that Mother Teresa did less good for the world than Bill Gates, as a general matter. Because more people gained their jobs through Bill Gates, more people have a product that Bill Gates created, more people's lives have been bettered through Bill Gates. Mother Teresa did a lot of wonderful things. But the reality of the situation is that what makes your life better than people's lives were 50 years ago is all the new products and services developed by all the rich people who hire you. All of you out there who I'm sure are not rich, are you working for a poor person right now? Who is hiring you? Who's paying your salary? Unless you're working for the government, and even then you're not working for a poor person, you're paying for the rich people who actually pay the taxes that pay for you to work for the government. So this idea that economic growth is a function of people making $15 an hour versus $14 an hour is simply not true. The reality of the situation is that what makes the economy grow is new products and services that make your life better and which require millions of dollars in research and development. And as far as the point that was made about the salary of the CEO of Walmart, all I can say is this. Walmart has approximately, they're the biggest employer in the country. They have something on the order of 2 million employees across the country. Let's say we agree that 20 million is too much, and let's say that we cut that salary to zero. Great, we just gave everybody $10, right, for the year. So let's stop pretending that the vast wealth imbalance inside Walmart is causing poverty for people at the bottom.
I'm Jessica Taylor. I'm an airline pilot. I am transgender. I want to know, if you can see me, first of all, what would make you uncomfortable with me using the women's restroom?
She's a very attractive woman.
Well, very. A lot of transgender people are not. A lot of people, a lot are not convincing in their presentation as the opposite of their biological sex, and so it's obvious to the people who see them that this is actually a man in a dress and not a biological woman, and that can create. I can understand how that would create fear and anxiety on the part of women and girls in a ladies' room. So,
so only well-dressed women can go into the ladies' room. Is that what you're saying? Only women that are attractive, just like the Donald Trump thing. Only women that are attractive can have these positions or use the restroom in this case.
Well, if you appear to be female, then you probably will not be challenged.
Okay, so who's going to set the standard to appearance of female? Is there going to be a TSA watching the door of the bathroom, and you're going to say, "Oh, you're not womanly enough"? I know a lot of women that are very neutral in their gender, and you're going to tell them they got to go use the men's restroom now in North Carolina? Boy, that makes sense.
The point is, this is an issue that you and other transgender people have brought on yourselves by choosing to present yourselves as the opposite of your biological sex. So this is the consequence of that choice you've made. I'm not saying you choose the feelings, but you have made the choice to present yourself that way. This is a consequence.
Okay, so with religious persecution,
to pander to this.
With religious persecution, this is what I'm subject to, is your own ability to restrict my life and to take just basic rules out of my life and make me use the men's restroom. So that's what you want me to do, is walk into an airport facility and use a men's restroom?
I gotta
that's
say,
smart?
I would be more.
Well, as I said at the outset, I think that gender-neutral restrooms or single-user restrooms are a reasonable accommodation, but in your view, that's discriminatory because it's stigmatizing.
No, what I'm saying is, why can't we just do what normal states do? We don't have to step back 30 years to accommodate the Christian religion in North Carolina.
This is an important point. The majority of states do not have any law prohibiting discrimination based on gender identity. The majority of states have no such law.